Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole. In today's video, we are finally going over Ulta's brand, the Ulta in-house brand. This is a video I've kind of been asked to do, well, for a long time, and I've put off greatly. But as you know, the 21 days of beauty is upon us. That is when there are even better deals on these already relatively affordable products, and this is indeed when I have bought most of what you see here. So my goal in this video is to help you guys figure out which may be the best products to buy from Ulta's brand, as well as maybe what products you want to pass on. Granted, this is, of course, only my opinions. I'll tell you guys now though, I might actually not have a very neutral opinion on these products. These are products that I've been using for, I think, up to 2 years, maybe even longer with some of these. These are products I know, and I occasionally have some rather strong feelings, sometimes in a good way. Some of these products have absolutely replaced high-end products for me, more expensive products. Ulta's in-house brand has some real winners and some misses. And this video is only going to be on the makeup products. Actually, let's just address the bath products really quickly. I think we can handle this. So Ulta does have bath products, they have hand soaps, and I'm going to tell you now, I think all of them are absolutely fine. I think it's just a matter of figuring out which scents appeal to you the most. The body lotions, the body washes, it's all absolutely fine. And let's get this out of the way. I feel like if you're spending a lot of money on bath products, it's just because you want to spend a lot of money. It's a bath soap. Although I'll actually add, with the Ulta Collection hand soaps, I feel like my money goes farther with their gel soaps than the foaming ones. Never quite figured out why, but those last me at least twice as long as the foaming ones. I'm going to go ahead and format this video best to worst, which means we're going to start with the absolute best, the products that I think you need to know about, and I just gave you a sneak. Oh well, you probably already knew anyway. I think there are some incredible brushes from the Ulta brand. I didn't actually realize that I own an entire cup of just Ulta's collection until this video, but let me tell you which brushes in here have replaced my high-end brushes, and then I'll tell you some of these within the brushes from Ulta are still kind of a miss to me. The Ulta Blending Shadow Brush is one of the most underrated brushes in the entire world. I think this is every bit as good as the MAC 217, your standard blending brush. I can't even imagine buying Morphe over this one. This is the one that I prefer to use, along with the MAC 217. But you know what? It's better than the new MAC 217. I'm talking the old one. I also absolutely love the Ulta Beauty Crease Brush. This is a very unique brush. It kind of looks like a pencil brush, but it blends out your shadow so easily. Incredible. I have nothing in my collection like it. Ulta's powder brush is a good brush. Not my absolute favorite, but a good brush. Ulta's bronzer brush, a bit underrated, I would say. I actually do like this, even though I don't use bronzer every day. That does everything that I need it to. This was a surprise to me. The Precision Foundation brush, this is actually good, but I prefer it for under eye powder. It's a really good brush to get up in there. And then also the Ulta Buffing Concealer Brush, perfect for buffing in concealer. I have both the retractable kabuki and the long handle. I prefer the long handle because of its dome shape. But I will say, I will admit this retractable is perfect for keeping in your handbag. I had one of these from Real Techniques and it broke. This Ulta Collection one is still going strong. I just wish that it kind of fluffed out more like this, but you know, it's for on the go, it's perfect for that. Oh, I also like the Ulta Beauty Foundation Brush, but this is such personal preference. These types of brushes are very rarely used, and yet I love them and use them almost daily. I will admit that their buffing brush, their buffing foundation brush, grew on me. It's a little bit more flexible than most that I've tried, but I realized I prefer that to a very stiff buffing brush. The crease brush is fine. The tapered highlight brush, I don't actually really love this. I think it's a little bit too floppy for highlighter application. Actually, let's just get into the kind of fails. The blush brush, this is a pass. This just does not apply blush in a clean way to me. I would personally skip on the angled foundation brush, even though maybe take this how you will because I don't love these kind of brushes. I think at least they're a little better when they're a little bigger than this. It takes a very long time to use. This was a big fail for me. The oval foundation brush, I thought I would love this because I love these for buffing out powders. I think this must just be for liquid foundation. I don't like it at all, actually. And then the pointed liner brush, way too floppy, way too floppy. I use this now, since I don't like it, to apply false lashes, which I do very, very often, as you know. But if you've ever got a fail of an eyeliner brush, use it for this purpose. You put the eyelash glue on the tip of this and then dab it in the inner corner and the outer corner before you put the lash in place. It really makes a difference. Is this safe? Actually, I don't know if I should be giving this advice.
Is it safe?
Is what safe?
I very rarely wear lashes. What can I say? And then also, I really didn't like the angled brow brush either. Maybe this is better for thicker brows, but it's way too stiff for my rather challenged brows. Oh, and hard pass on the Ulta sponges. These are so stinking dense and awful to use. I only have this because it came as some gift with purchase. Yeah, hard pass on these. Get the Shop Miss A, Shop AOA Miss A. What the heck is that store called? Oh, Shop Miss A. Why did I go so blank on that? Shop Miss A sponges for $1.55. You gotta make sure you're paying that extra 55 cents and never again buy these. Next category, let's go over concealers because, oh my gosh, Ulta's brand has some of the best concealers. This is genuinely the concealer that I use every single day. Now, this one's a lot of personal preference. This is the Youthful Glow Concealer. I do not like heavy concealer on myself, so this is perfect for me. It is genuinely the concealer that I like the most out of my entire collection, which is way too obnoxious. Let's not talk about it. But if you do like a more full coverage concealer, even I enjoy the full coverage liquid concealer waterproof, and that's saying something because, ooh, I don't like things like Tarte Shape Tape. I do use this to spot conceal my face. I've tried this for cutting the crease. This is a great concealer. I just don't like it under my eyes. Whoa, too thick, too thick. I'm putting too much thought into the order of this video, so we're just gonna go ahead through foundations next because I have a very, very much loved foundation and some that I hate from this category. So complexion products in general. I have a tendency to buy tons of foundation because I have skin problems. I'm always trying to hide my acne and other issues. I have a favorite here. Y'all probably already know it. It's the Ulta Beauty Moisturizing Foundation Stick. I'm wearing this today. I think this is such a good foundation stick. This to me compares to the Hourglass, although I think I like it more. Now, I've never bought a full size of the Hourglass. I think it's obnoxiously expensive, but I adore this. It is so easy to use. You just put it on, blend it out, no issues blending. Gorgeous. And do keep in mind for this category that I have dry skin with acne. All right, I also really like the Ulta Beauty HD Focus Liquid Foundation. This is a good light coverage foundation. I'd actually say it's light buildable, but it's a good foundation, easy to work with as well. One that I don't like is the Youthful Glow Foundation Serum Drops. And this really surprised me because I thought this was going to be an alternative to the HD Soft Focus. I thought this would maybe be lighter, but it actually just looks bad on me. This has a tendency to highlight my pores. I've come to conclude that I think this is somehow a serum foundation that is made for oily skin, mainly because I looked at the ingredients and saw that it has talc powder in it, which is not something you commonly see in foundation, especially not light coverage. So I can see how this might make sense if you have more oily skin and you're still trying to get light coverage, but on my dry skin, it actually looks bad. This one is nice depending on your preferences. The Adjustable Coverage Foundation Wet Dry Pressed Powder. So this one is, obviously you can use it either with a dry brush and just put on a powder foundation, or you can dampen your brush. I don't recommend dipping a wet brush into it as it will kind of forever be a wet powder, but you can spray your brush, which is what I've done before. I think it's okay. I think that it doesn't really, I think it's not for my skin type as well, but it might be good for combination skin. It's funny that I say this because I actually used to wear this type of product a lot when I was younger. So, I bought one from Ulta and I was like, oh, I wonder if I like it now. The answer ends up being not really, but I can still see the appeal. And then I also have the Mineral Setting Powder and the Mineral Powder Foundation. I very rarely use the Mineral Powder Foundation. I do keep these products around though, because sometimes if you have a really bad acne spot, sometimes powder is the best thing to cover it. And I've never quite figured out why. Like, you do all of your makeup and then take a tiny concealer brush and pat on some of this right at the end. Sometimes that's what it takes. Maybe it's just because the skin around acne is so stubborn that the only thing that really sticks to it is powder. That's my best guess. But otherwise, I don't really wear it all over my face. The Mineral Setting Powder, this is okay as well. The problem with this, and a lot of people have said this in the reviews, it's just not enough of a sifter, so you kind of have to work really hard to get this powder out. I've also found their translucent setting powder to be a little bit of a deeper tone. This is really subtle. I don't know if other people really pay attention to this, but this just slightly deepens my foundation. And while we're here, I've never loved an Ulta primer. I do have the Youthful Glow Primer Serum, and I don't actually think I would recommend this. This is really expensive for what it is. It's mostly just water and glycerin, and I believe it retails for $18 for 0.6 ounces. Yeah, I wouldn't actually recommend this. I don't massively hate it, but I don't feel like it does anything for my skin. I did try it again today, and I feel like, it says on it with hyaluronic acid, acai and blueberry, but I don't feel like I'm getting any skin benefits from it. I should have more plumped up skin than I do. Yeah, at least don't pay full price for this one ever. In my opinion, it's going to disappear like a lot of Ulta's products. You know what I mean, right? Some of them linger and some of them disappear into the ether. So the Ulta Beauty Matte Makeup Setting Spray, and this is fine. This is just the travel size. Won't buy it. Don't think it stands out. Don't think it's terrible either. Well, we need to get back into some good products, don't we? So we have the Ulta Matte. Why do I keep saying the brand? Matte Eye Primer in Nude. I love this so much. This is a fantastic eyeshadow primer, especially if you're trying to do kind of a more soft eyeshadow look. You really do get I'd say a slight concealing effect that does help to extend the life of your eyeshadow. It's a very, very underrated product, but a lot of people have been talking about it. In all fairness, great eye primer. Ulta's Ultra Slim Brow Pencil. These are phenomenal. I came to the conclusion recently that this is more like Anastasia's Brow Wiz than it benefits precisely my brow, meaning that I think this goes on a little bit more stiff. I think the benefit precisely my brow, I can actually understand why you would prefer that if you have dry skin. But if you use Anastasia's Brow Wiz, this is so similar to it. And Ulta's Gel Eyeliner, this is another one that's kind of a cult status favorite, I would say. This is great. I was thinking about repurchasing my Urban Decay Perversion 24/7 liner long name product. Yeah, I don't actually think I'm going to, because this is working just as well. I'm wearing this today. Look, hey, I actually did the waterline in black today. That's a rare occasion. I wanted to celebrate this eye pencil. Did I even say in the intro that I'm wearing a bunch of these? Probably not. Anyway, I am. Although I noticed that the Ulta Matte Neutrals eyeshadow palette is no longer on the website, so I think Ulta might have phased this one out. It had a good run. I'm wearing this today. I hope that their new eyeshadow palettes are as good, because this was incredible. Flushed Blush. This is a great blush. The one I'm wearing today is Flamingo. Really good product. I think that with blush, it's not necessarily a difficult product to make, but you need it to not be too pigmented that people can ruin their face towards the end of their makeup look, and you need it to still show up, and I feel like Ulta's done a great job of finding that middle ground. Really good blushes. This one is also not presently available, but they have something similar. This is the Unicorn highlighter. I'm wearing this today. Man, it is one of my favorite highlighters in my collection. It really is. I'm so sad this is discontinued, but they do have some other type of rainbow highlighter. Highlighter as a trend has not died down in its popularity, but can we please bring back that whole put the rainbow effect on your face? Because I loved it. Liquid illuminators. I don't hate this, which is actually quite a compliment to it, because I never like this type of product, but take this how you will, because I don't think you get anywhere near the amount of illumination with this that you do with most other products. That said, this is really nice mixed into foundation for an actually subtle look. Unlike what many of these claim, where I feel like you mix it into your foundation and you look like you are a metallic robot or something. Does that even make sense? The last product category that I have products from is lip products, and you've probably heard me talk a lot about these Ulta Beauty Luxe lipsticks. These are so good. These might as well be high-end lipsticks. They are absolutely like it. They wear the same, they feel the same. Gorgeous lipsticks. The packaging is even beautiful on these. I think this is one of Ulta's most luxurious in appearance products. I also really do like the Shiny Sheer Lip Gloss. I think this is kind of underrated. I'm gonna tell you honestly, I think the Essence, what are those called? The Essence Shine Wet Look Lip Gloss. If you can get these at a similar price, I think these are just about as good, not better, but just about as good. I am wearing this today. This is the shade Plum. I see I have a preference in lip gloss colors. You learn something about yourself every day. A lip product from Ulta that I do not like is their tinted juice infused lip oil, and it is specifically the tinted ones. The regular is nice. I have one somewhere, but this, the tint in it seems to settle into my lip lines, and then the oil spreads, and it's a horrible look. I actually hate this. I think they discontinued their matte lip cream, which is kind of disappointing. I am also currently wearing the Ulta Avengers matte liquid lipstick. So what I wanted to comment on with this is I tend to think that Ulta does a good job when they have these collections, but beware of their sets. I do not think I've ever purchased a set of Ulta minis that I've loved. I don't get it, but for some reason Ulta's I've talked about this before, Ulta's sample sizes are somehow different from their full sizes. I have a video explaining that if you want to go watch it. I don't know why, but it seems to carry through in not only their gifts with purchases, but also in the sets they sell in store. At least the set that I purchased was absolutely terrible. So stick with their permanent products, stick with their collections, but avoid their sets. And then finally, avoid their mascaras. Ulta sweetie, you have got to work on these mascaras. They are just so bad. Ulta will release a new mascara, it seems every year or so, I would say, and then it disappears by the next year because they've all been bad formulas. I think there's still a couple on the site that I recognize, and they have a 2-star rating. They're so clumpy. They just stick together on the lashes. That's exactly what clumpy means, isn't it? They're kind of wet formulas. I just really don't like their mascaras. I think if you do wear falsies with your mascara, maybe you can tolerate them, but for me, as somebody who primarily relies on only mascara, I don't like their mascaras. And I think that covers everything that I've tried. So, let me know in the comments if I have not tried anything that you think is amazing. Make sure you comment it. So that is all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please make sure you like and subscribe. See you all next time.